reaction really says I don't want to be reading that book. Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Leigh Jade. If you're not, welcome back. So today I will be filming my November TBR. Now I am feeling a little bit ambitious this month. Oh my god, not year. But I am a mood reader and I am not trying to anchor myself to these books. We'll start with the books that I want to finish this month because I've started reading them and have not gotten around to finishing them yet. So I'll start with the book that I don't actually have on me because I do not own it, and that is Nightfall by Penelope Douglas. It is the third book in the Devil's Night series, and I started reading it Wednesday last week. I really want to finish it because I really want to move on to the novella that comes after it, because I really want to finish that series because the final book of it is really intriguing me because of the people that it's based around. So I really want to finish this series so I can move on. But I had a thing last month, of I wanted to read books that I actually owned, which I did a pretty good job at. I will say, I did a really good job at that, considering it was only within the last week of the month that I went, should probably read books that I actually own, which is also the main point of my majority of the rest of my TBR. But still on the point of books I want to finish, I've been obsessed with romances, so I started this after I finished Crooked Kingdom, and that is King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. I am, I think, 50 pages in. I made the mistake of flipping through this book, and spoiler alert on if you haven't read King of Scars, on page 77 this line right here just killed me. I'm pretty sure none of you could see that because I'm not sure how close I'm holding that to the camera. It says, "Yes, Matthias, free." Matthias! I need to finish that book. My reaction really says I don't want to be reading that book. So, moving on from that, the next book that I started last month and want to finish reading this month is The Score by Elle Kennedy. I am up to, I have no clue, but I am onto the third book of the series. I know I'm a couple chapters in, and this book I started reading a couple of weeks ago now, and I just never got back to it. I got to the point of I kind of want to read that book, the physical copy, so I went and picked it up and then I just didn't open it again. So that's what we're faced with. So those are the three books that I've started reading that I want to finish. So moving on to the books that I haven't started reading and want to read, like my goals, or at least to read that many books. First up is Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover, because I really want to read more of her, but I really have to be in the mood to get my heart broken to read her books. I have only read one so far, and that left me emotionally destroyed because I didn't have time to process what was happening while it was happening, because I was getting called in and out of my room all day, and that really hurt. Next one is Lakesedge by Lyndall Clipstone. Now, I've read the sample of this on Kindle, and it's really intriguing, and I really do want to read this. But when I picked this up, like to read this, when I read the sample, I think when I picked up this sample to read, I ended up reading The Mistake, or like one of the really smutty romances. I know I did not actually end up reading that. Next up is Rosalie Palmer Takes the Cake by Alexis Hall. Now, a Dimmicks employee recommended this to me, and she told me it is like, it has the same setting as the British Bake Off. Like she's in a baking competition, which just so happens to be probably one of my favorite settings, because I watch so many shows and movies that have a romance and then based in that. I say so many, I mean 2. But that piqued my interest and I want to read it eventually. Next up is Beach Read by Emily Henry, because everyone on Book Talk has been raving about this book and I really want to read it. I just have not gotten around to it. The way I decide what books I read, funnily enough, is I used to pick up the book and read the first chapter of it. Like the first proper chapter of it but now what I do is I download the sample that Kindle lets you download on it and read that. And that's pretty much how I decide what book I read. If I manage to get through the whole sample, it means I want to read it, pretty much. And then final book on my TBR that I really want to read, and I've seen Steph Ball has read this book, but she hasn't read, and she's read the rest, and I think she's read the rest of the series, but I am not sure, because it's been a while since I've watched a couple of her videos. She doesn't talk about it often on BookTube and on Book Talk. Seen a few videos about it, and I haven't heard anything bad about it. So the next book on my TBR is Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. Now, from what I understand, this is a romance, and it's based in Paris. So that's really all this is based on. And that's really just my reading goal for this month, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books, which I know I can do. I did it last month. I did it this month. That's my TBR for the month of November. And I don't know where I was going with that. Anywho, that's my TBR for November. Love you. Kisses. Subscribe if you haven't already. and like my video if you liked it, of course. I'll see you in the next one.